Imagine the scene. It is Christmas. The decorative bulbs are shimmering. The fruit pastries are charring. The canine has consumed 50% of the garland and is currently shaking in the nook. You switch on Netflix to block out the holiday pandemonium, and suddenly, wham, you are struck in the visage by With Love, Meghan. Holiday celebration. A display that renders tepid sauce appearing emotionally intricate. Indeed, Meghan Markle has presented the Globe, a Yuletide feature so forcefully arranged it resembles being glared at by a John Lewis mannequin with a vanity disorder. And for causes understood solely to him and perhaps his counsellor, Harry is pulled onto the screen as the assigned humorous alleviation, although alleviation is stating it liberally. Alleviation from what? Delight, unity, rationality. However, let us rewind and view this seasonal poultry from the start. The programme commences with Meghan adorning a festive fur solo because naught expresses cosy domestic Christmases like entirely neglecting you possess two offspring. She suspends every bauble with the sentimental honesty of somebody recording an assurance commercial, beaming as if the illuminations are energised by absolute self-awareness. She subsequently entertains companions for seasonal arts, a term here signifying a heavily designed gathering wherein the ghost of genuineness was summoned but never arrived. The entire affair is so synthetically virtuous, it seems as if she is attempting to persuade the spectator she originated happiness. Watchers were left questioning if the pine was adorned or kept captive. Critiques arrived like United Kingdom climate, dull, unceasing, and miserable. Pundits depicted her hosting manner as cheerless and artificial, observing that viewing Meghan gleefully converse about festive reception is akin to witnessing a defective automaton attempt to grin with merely half the configurations loaded. Picture somebody defining mirth while visibly undergoing none of it. That is Meghan. Each phrase seems as if she is interrogating herself for a role at her personal lifestyle label. She speaks of heat, society, and seasonal ease, all while emitting the sentimental warmth of remaining raw fish. One repetitive motif of Meghan's public persona is her focus on kin, adoration, and bonding. Consequently, obviously, the Yuletide special highlights no relatives, no reunions, and no efforts to repair any bonds. Her dad, reportedly healing from urgent operation, receives no dial, no correspondence, or even a taper ignited in his tribute. The lady crafted personalised wax stamps for gifts, yet cannot lift the receiver for the male who reared her. Commentators positively devoured this insincerity like a Boxing Day spread. And she is, ultimately, hosting a programme focused on unity, excluding the individuals she dislikes, which is quite a numerous amount. American, Irish, Australian press. Everybody linked arms around the planet like a Yuletide chorus of criticism and stated, "Wow, this is terrible." One United States reviewer termed the broadcast forcefully welcoming, which is potentially the most lyrically savage slight ever supplied to a lifestyle presenter. It provides the sensation of somebody force-feeding you spiced vintage while yelling, "I stated we are possessing enjoyment." A separate critic noted that Meghan's guidance spans from patronising to ridiculous. Patronising, clarifying decorations as if she is lecturing infants who have never viewed a spruce. One author appended that Meghan's unyielding optimism is dubious. Nobody with 2 little children ought to be that joyous in December unless there is prescription included. Next, the instant nobody requested. Harry emerges. Not regally, not intentionally, not with self-respect. He shows up since he scented stew. This fellow has been diminished to a Labrador retriever with a Duke of Sussex designation. Yet, oh, the second he detects the feared greens holding every component he loathes, is zenith British spouse energy. Meghan, radiating as if she is poised to acquire a BAFTA for finest portrayal as a human female, cheerfully declares that she has produced a meal constructed wholly of what Harry detests. because naught signifies Christmas like serving your spouse their private culinary nightmare on film. His response, an anxious chuckle that shouts, "Aid me," succeeded by terming it the anti-salad, which is arguably the most humorous phrase he has uttered since he informed the Globe he forfeited his innocence to a lady behind a tavern. Harold glares the greens down as if it owes him currency. You can virtually hear him reasoning, this is how it concludes. However, when the stew appears, he brightens like a Yule pine. That is correct. Harry, victor of the beetroot catastrophe, vanquished by vegetation, saved by comfort cuisine. Even then, he cannot merely acclaim it. He must liken it to his mother-in-law's variation, unintentionally provoking Meghan for amusement. Frankly, it is the most understandable thing he has performed in years. The pair's repartee possesses all the organic attraction of two persons reciting scripts in separate chambers and sewn together in editing. Meghan cuts off Harry so often, you would assume she was being compensated per sound. Harry, meantime, grins with the tired look of a male who has embraced his destiny somewhere betwixt Montecito and matrimonial limbo. At the conclusion of the sequence, she pecks him in a second, so choreographed it seems like a pupil drama. The entire event radiates the identical sensations as the final 5 minutes of a captive tape. Meghan arrogantly demonstrates how to construct homemade Christmas poppers, finished with bespoke glitter, selected sweets, miniature plaything patty, a romance note, aromas, penmanship labels, sentimental texts. Meanwhile, the remainder of us are out here purchasing grocery multi-packs with paper tiaras so flimsy they combust if you wink too vigorously. Each chuckle is too noisy, each intake is too prepared, each motion is too airy. Each praise to Harry is presented as if she is trying out for a Hallmark motion picture. Each second is cut to the stage where impulsiveness has been murdered. She attempts to perform nonchalant, but finishes up appearing like she ingested a screenplay. Watchers stated, "Observing her enact ordinary female delight is akin to viewing a failing AI attempting to simulate mortal compassion. You can nearly perceive the buffering strip in her pupils." The web did not restrain itself. Hand the vomit receptacle. She behaves like a machine striving to malfunction its path into mankind. No Emmy-earning portrayals here. Solely embarrassment. Exaggerating. She originated it. The Duke and Duchess of Drab, tiring everybody into a premature tomb. Harry never appears like the complete meat pastry. She disrupts him so frequently, the male scarcely concludes a phrase. Truly, the remark area was more amusing than the programme. By the finish of this garland-perfumed fever hallucination, one query endures. Why? Why create a Yuletide feature that seems like a satire of itself? Why compel Harry into salad-connected torture? Why organise a family-focused display lacking any kin? Why enact Glee like an amateur theatrical presentation of Love Actually? Why shame the Globe into viewing 56 minutes of holiday twee that feels like a character imprisoned inside air cushion packaging? And the largest query of all, what has Meghan obtained on Netflix's Ted Sarandos? Because naught else clarifies why Netflix continues handing her sacks of money to produce material that renders a taupe sweater appearing captivating. If Christmas is regarding ease and delight, then with love. Meghan is regarding unease and coerced zeal. It is over-manufactured, under-experienced, and so self-praising, it virtually tinkles with egoism. And Meghan, well, she offers us everything. Arts, baking, arranged ornaments, yet somehow naught genuine. The entire trial is encased in tape, yet vacant internally, much like a popper she did not personally,